Should Ultimate Spider-Man take over as the main Spider-Man book over Amazing Spider-Man? It's an interesting question, and when I actually asked you guys on the channel, you guys overwhelmingly said, yes, I'm in the camp for, I want this book to become the new main Spider-Man book under Marvel Comics. And this revolution was actually really weird at first, but then when I thought about it, it made a lot of sense to me. So let's ponder this thought for 1 second, shall we? What would happen if Ultimate Spider-Man took the reins of Amazing Spider-Man and became the main Spider-Man book at Marvel Comics? How and why could this happen? But before we get into all of that, I want to urge you guys to subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 30,000 subscribers, and if you love Spider-Man content like this video, then make sure you are subscribed. I'd really appreciate it if we could hit that goal this year. That would be absolutely awesome. Join me on this journey of trying to get through to Marvel Editorial, and hopefully as a community we can push together and hopefully tell them how much we love Ultimate Spider-Man and how much they need to improve Amazing Spider-Man. So basically a few days ago, I ended up doing a poll where I asked you guys, based on the recent couple of issues, which run were you preferring? And the options were Amazing Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, and Spectacular Spider-Man by Greg Weisman. And no surprise, Amazing Spider-Man was voted the lowest. But what surprised me more than anything was that Spectacular Spider-Man was voted so low. Now I know the hype is around Ultimate Spider-Man at this moment in time, because let's be honest, that book right now is handling its themes and its characters a lot better than the 616 version of the character. But Spectacular Spider-Man, written by Greg Weisman, is a really fun read. It may not go as in depth with its characters as Ultimate Spider-Man does, but Spectacular Spider-Man definitely is a better and more refreshing take on the 616 version of the character. And that got me wondering, why is it voted so low? You'd think there would be more of an even split between Spectacular Spider-Man and Ultimate Spider-Man. And that made me wonder, why? And I think the reason for this is because Spectacular Spider-Man simply is a part of the 616 universe. The Amazing Spider-Man comic run has tainted the character and the surrounding characters to a point where people just generally aren't bothered about the 616 version of that character anymore. And this got me thinking, should Ultimate Spider-Man replace Amazing Spider-Man? Based off these statistics, based off what you guys have been telling me and what you guys think, yeah, like, it's a no-brainer. Of course, Ultimate Spider-Man should become the main book. On a financial scale and just from a fan perspective as well, Ultimate Spider-Man is performing leagues above the Amazing Spider-Man and anything in the 616 universe at this point in time. So, should it replace it? Yeah, it really should. However, there is one main issue with all of this, and that obviously is the history that comes with the 616 Spider-Man. It is no secret that one of the main things Marvel likes to do is have all of its history contained into basically one giant story. Whereas the likes of DC like to reboot their characters like Batman, The Flash, and Superman every 10 years or so. You know, we get Rebirth, we get the New 52, we get a bunch of other runs where all of the characters are completely different and they get rebooted. However, Marvel is a little bit different than that. Obviously, you have events and stories that end up getting retconned, like for example, Sin's Past got retconned in Nick Spencer's run, so we have to look at the damage that One More Day did to Peter and MJ's marriage. But apart from these things here and there, largely the Amazing Spider-Man has been one continuous story since Amazing Fantasy 15. And the problem with replacing the Amazing Spider-Man run with Ultimate Spider-Man would be that, well, the Amazing Spider-Man would lose all of its history. So to mitigate this fact, how could you actually go about doing this? Well, there's actually two options. There are two ways that you could potentially incorporate Ultimate Spider-Man into the main continuity of 616. The first option is kind of do what they did with the original Ultimate Universe, and that is basically combine the Ultimate Universe with the 616 universe. However, this time, what you would do, instead of bring Miles Morales in like they did originally, you would bring the Peter Parker from the Ultimate Universe into the 616 universe. How you would deal with 616 Peter, I don't know. Maybe the characters could somehow merge together and combine, or maybe 616 Peter could get killed off indefinitely and Ultimate Peter would end up taking his place. There is a way that you can go about this where a lot of the side characters of the original 616 universe could still exist, but obviously Peter Parker from that universe could get replaced by the ultimate version of the character. Now, this could actually be really messy and could result in the comics getting even even worse, so I don't think this is the best option. However, the second option, and the better option in my opinion, is just follow the footsteps of Ultimate Spider-Man. It sounds so simple, but if Ultimate Spider-Man has taught us as fans and Marvel editorial anything, it's that the fans, it's that critics, it's that people who love the character of Spider-Man want to see Peter Parker grow up and get older. And this theme of Peter Parker growing up has been something the fans have been talking about for such a long time. Marvel editorial and just Marvel in general need to take notes, because this is the footpath. This is what you need to do in the Amazing Spider-Man books in order for fans to start liking them again. Yes, the best and most simplistic option of how to basically combine Ultimate Spider-Man into the main 616 universe is to not really do that at all, but use Ultimate Spider-Man by Jonathan Hickman as a blueprint for Amazing Spider-Man. And when obviously the Ultimate Universe ends, because let's be honest, it isn't going to go on forever, start taking the things that worked in Ultimate Spider-Man and the things that fans liked and start implementing them into the 616 universe. It is an absolute no-brainer. But obviously, we know Marvel editorial aren't going to do that, but I think the simple question is, should Ultimate Spider-Man take over as the main book? In my opinion, it is a little bit more complicated. I do think the history does hold that decision from being made back, but at the same time, the mess that the character and the Amazing Spider-Man books are in at this moment are kind of a bit too far gone. Characters like Mary Jane, Black Cat, Paul obviously as well, Peter Parker himself, all of these characters have been really ruined over the past couple of years, and I think it is time for a major reboot or a major recession for the Amazing Spider-Man book. It's time to get rid of all of the stuff that's come in the last few years and put a staple down of something that is familiar, but also doing something fresh and new. We need something that the fans like, we need something that the fans respond to, and I think Ultimate Spider-Man would be perfect for that. But either way, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. It is an interesting conundrum, and I want to know what all of you think. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit a like on it, and also make sure to subscribe if you are new. Join me on this journey. Let's build this community to try and get Marvel editorial to understand that we want the Amazing Spider-Man to change for the better. So make sure you're subscribed. Let's push this message out there. Also, we're so close to 30,000 subscribers, so I would love if we could hit that goal. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care and peace.